Hello, everybody. My name is Riley Keener. This semester, I am in Step 262, and I am at the Windsor Charter Academy in Mrs. Carrie Cross's 2 middle school history classes. The topic I'm doing today is going to be over Bonnie and Clyde, and it's directed towards a 10th grade American history class. All right, my mission statement is focused around the concept of praise. I find that when people receive praise for doing things, it keeps them motivated to continue to do those things and work at a little harder pace. So with that in mind, my mission statement is, our classroom is a place of peace where everyone is treated with respect and students can accelerate their knowledge. Our classroom is a place where everyone will feel important and has a desire to succeed in their education in order to receive the praise that they deserve. My learning outcomes are students will be able to identify the motives that fueled the actions of Bonnie and Clyde. Students will be able to summarize why Bonnie and Clyde received so much popularity from the public, and students will be able to defend their stance on Bonnie and Clyde. Were they good guys or were they bad guys? So with that in mind, my warm-up that I would have for the class is I would show a little pieces of clips from the movie Highwaymen, which is a movie about Bonnie and Clyde and their story, basically told from the perspective of a Texas Ranger. I'm not going to show the whole film, just like 5 minutes worth of clips, just so students can get a general idea and create their own concept on who Bonnie and Clyde were. So going forward, who is Bonnie and Clyde? So it was Bonnie Elizabeth Parker and Clyde Champion Barrow. They were a dynamic duo that played the roles of American criminals throughout America. The two and their gang traveled the central U.S. committing crimes such as murder, bank robberies, automobile theft, and burglaries. They received fame and support from the public for being known as the Robin Hoods, who stole from the rich and powerful financial institutions during the Great Depression. I just want to put it out there that I chose to do Bonnie and Clyde just because people use them and talk about them as if they were good guys without really knowing truly who they were. So that's why I decided to use them for a presentation, just because it shows what they actually stood for and the actions that they actually did. So after this, I created a Bonnie and Clyde timeline from the time that they met to the time that they were killed in an ambush back in May of 1934. In my class, we'll go more into detail, of course, on this, but for the sake of this presentation only being 5 minutes, I did just the main events that they experienced and went through during their time frame, and so that students can just get that general concept of who they were, what they did, and how they were killed, basically. So for an in-class activity, after I present my presentation, I wanted to present students with some primary documents on the news articles and clippings of Bonnie and Clyde and what was being seen through America as they were on their chase. So as you can see, we just have some news articles. We have the wanted signs that were posted everywhere. I just want to go through these, and I have more of these that I'll show to the class. They will be printed out and passed along to each student. But these ones right here kind of show how they're bad people, but I also have examples of how they're good people and how people believe that they were, why they got their fame, and how they were helping the citizens of America. So after we look at those primary sources, we'll do a little discussion on it, and then we'll move on to back to the presentation and discuss the end of the road for Bonnie and Clyde, how they were killed, how that all got set up, which again is explained in the movie Highwaymen. So I may or may not show that clip of their ambush. It's pretty violent, and so some students may have a hard time viewing it or not, but it does show a very good perspective of how they were killed, what went into it, and then it shows the effect that it had on the society after they were killed. So after that, after we do our presentation, I want to do some kind of small debate between my students, and I just want to explain, like, get their point of view. Do they believe Bonnie and Clyde were good people, or do they believe that Bonnie and Clyde were bad people? And then students can refer back to those primary sources and to defend their answers. But probably what I would do is split the room into two and then have students move to whether, like, each side, one side being they're the good people, one side being they're the bad people. And we'll just have a small little debate on that. And that is it for my presentation. I do have a little bit of modifications that I included just to help students that struggle with their learning education, and just a couple examples of those were, I think it's very important to have a routine schedule in your classroom. Not do the same thing every single day, but have the same routine. Come in, have a warm up, do a presentation, do an activity, and kind of wrap it up, so have a closure. I think that this will help students that struggle, that always need to be moving around and stuff. We'll make sure that we're doing that, and then students will be set in that routine so they know what to expect every time they come to class. I also will have guided notes for students that need it for the presentations and stuff like that. And I'll be posting all of my stuff on like a Google Classroom or like through an email or something like that, where students can refer back to it if they need to. So with that in mind, that is my lesson. Thank you.